And welcome back to the RaidCall EMS 1 Counter-Strike Go. It is day one of Cup number 1 in the spring tournament of our €156,000 championship throughout 2013 to find 4 champions, or maybe just one champion that wins all 4. Talking of which, NIP, yep, they're in town. Those dastardly Swedes that come back and steals your monies and basically take every single event that they attend. That's happened so far, and it's continuing to happen here again. They've come through potentially, we call it a slippery banana skin, because Infuse played really well in the first round, came through winning that one, and kind of against the odds, I think it would be fair to say, but they played fantastically. They then had a few rounds actually against NIP where they played really well as well, but to be fair, NIP didn't really look out of control, did they?
For a couple of rounds, they actually almost did. Almost. They never looked completely out of control. They had, especially the first couple of rounds, they were just completely in control. Everything was running flawlessly for them. And then there were a couple of rounds where Infused just managed to get the right spots, to pick off the right people at the right time.
I think, to be fair as well, Infused were playing some very jazzed up strats. We're trying to confuse, and get out and do some things that maybe Nip hadn't discovered before. And their strats seemed quite good in terms of the way they were able to mix things up, and that's what won them a couple of rounds in the end. But it just wasn't ever going to be enough. They needed to be able to string rounds together, and they couldn't do that against NIP. No real shock, really. I mean, who can these days? Even very games have been rolled in finals throughout 2012. Is 2013 going to be the same? Well, we're going to find out through the year. This is just the very beginning of it. And just to explain a little bit about the RaidCall EMS 1. It is a very prestigious tournament where we were holding weekly cups, the first of which is this week, of course. Today we're playing our final game tonight. Right now is the next game, which is NIP versus Alternate, and that will be it for tonight. It won't be the end of the cup, however. Please make sure you come back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock local time CET for the semi-finals and the grand final. Grand final will be best of 3 as well tomorrow, so don't miss those, and we'll find out who gets crowned the first ever EMS 1 week 1 Cup champion. And of course they will then get the 100 points. They will get the top prize for the week, which I believe is €600. Sorry, €600. It's €300 for second, 100 for third. And the points then get added up all the way through the different cups. They'll be back next week to play another one, and those that have got the most points at the end of the season, those 16 teams, will go into a playoff weekend, which will be 4 groups of 4. The top 2 from each of those then go through to a grand final on LAN, which is 8 Counter-Strike Go teams right here in Germany, in the studio. You will not believe what we've got planned for them. It's going to be fantastic. And that's how the EMS 1 works, courtesy of RaidCall. Right now, we are in the quarterfinal stage, and it is NIP versus Alternate. I do want to mention a couple of other teams, though, as well. Kick Gaming have knocked out ESC 16-11 earlier in the night, and Druckwelle have won 16-14. Shut up, Hubner.
Beautiful.
Against 3D Max. My German is improving, but maybe needs a bit more polish. A bit like my sort of production skills, really. Probably need a bit of a polish as well. Please come back, Joe Miller. All is forgiven. That'll be a gift before you know it. Anyway, if you are in the Twitch chat channel, thank you for joining us. Thanks for the kind comments throughout the show, and thanks for bearing with me with my newbie production skills. They're nowhere near as slick as Joe's, or well, frankly, probably my nan's, if we're honest. So yeah, you can feel free to call me a noob in the chat. It's fine. Yeah, that's what makes you feel better and makes you know it. Then I'm okay with that. Really, we're just concentrating on the fact that we're concentrating on the games. And the first one of the night was fantastic. What a corker we had! If you missed it, make sure you check out the VOD. Because I'm not going to spoil it for you, so this is a spoiler alert thing, so look away now, close your ears, go into the toilet, have a cup of tea, do whatever you want. The first game was marvellous.
Definitely
and
was.
That's it. You can come back now. Okay.
Nothing more to be said about that, really. The map on the server we're going to be playing on has just changed to Mirage. I would love to see that.
Oh, it is dollars, I'm being told. So
it
yeah,
is?
not euros. Is it really dollars this week? Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, so it is dollars. My bad. Because that's not the same thing. So, yeah, my bad. I'm going to get shot by Larry now. Larry's the boss when it comes to EMS. And I might not be back next week. That's all I'm saying. So if you want to keep me on the stream, then send your emails to Larry at... No, I'm kidding. He'll probably allow me to come back. I won't be here tomorrow, unfortunately. I'm not quite sure who's doing tomorrow yet, so we'll let you know that tomorrow.
I actually have no idea.
But I'm not sure. But we'll fix that, and we'll find it out, and we'll make sure that you have the coverage that you deserve. And we'll be back next week. I definitely will be here next Wednesday and next Thursday, barring some sort of weird kind of, I don't know, Druckvella.
Beautiful.
It's a shockwave, right?
Yes, it is.
It's a shockwave from a bomb blast or something. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
exactly.
German, whatever.
Actually, you guys might have heard about our Dota 2 part of the EMS 1.
Yes.
So we have a new Dota commentator called Kawa, and I've been teaching him some
Kawabunga.
I've been teaching him some German.
Have you?
And his favorite word is Schmetterling.
Really?
Which is the word for butterfly.
How good is that?
Yes, that's
fantastic.
That is totally his favorite word.
Okay. So I've got no details just yet of the game we're about to do. We are going to do Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Alternate. There are 4 German teams in the quarterfinals, and that's good news for the locals. And it's all about the points, so remember that. Points and prizes. Of course, money being put up as well. And so far, nothing comes through. I just want to check the server, actually, just make sure that we are on the right server. So, yeah, well, there's no end on the server, so we're close to being able to go live. I'm just going to keep my eye on that. We don't want to miss that this time round. We got a wrong queue last time round, so we weren't aware that they were about to go live. So I'm just going to keep my eye on that right now. So if I just come, I don't know if I can do that. No, maybe I can't. Okay, well, I can't do that right now. But if you have got suggestions for who you think might win this tournament, or maybe provide a shock, then let us know via the chat. We'll have a chat with you in the chat, as it were, and respond to those. So if you're just a Ninjas in Pyjamas fan, that's fine. You can shout about it. If you're an Alternate Attacks fan, that's fine. You can shout about that as well. So either way round that you want to cheer for your team, you can do that in the chat. And maybe you've got another favourite. Maybe there's someone else in the rankings that you particularly like. We're going to bring you the 4 results so far. So the quarterfinal lines up like this: Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Team Alternate. Kick Esports, who came through against ESC in the previous round, 16-11. They'll play in Faculty. Obviously a German team as well. Druckvella Esport will play Epsilon Razor. Stop smiling, couldn't every time I say that. And at the bottom of the bracket, Imaginary Gaming is still waiting to find out who they play. It will be Team Gamed or Nodweb.Gala. One of those 2 teams will go through. They're still playing right now, so that may have gone to overtime. We'll have to see. But pretty much, I think, maybe apart from ESC losing out to the Portuguese, pretty much as we would have expected the quarterfinal, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. You really are hard work, Hubner.
I know. I've been reading the chat. I'm sorry. I actually wanted to answer a question on the chat, which was where the studio is located. It's in Cologne, Germany.
Right.
And they've also been asking who I was. I'm actually the reincarnation of Joe Miller's hair.
Okay. So basically today you've been called naked.
Yes, I'm naked.
And a thief of Joe Miller's hair.
Yes.
That got cut off in Singapore. That's a slight upgrade. Okay. And yes, the Germans do say Köln. That's what we say locally. I am a Kölner. Officially, I am actually a Kölner now because I live on that side of the river too. But let's not go there because that causes all sorts of riots. I'm still waiting for any signs that this game may go live, although we do have a restart. So I'm going to drop you in, and we're going to get underway, I think, because
they are saying have fun.
Yeah, they are saying have fun. So let's actually get you in there right now. Let me just find where we're supposed to be and get you in there. What do you know? Look at that. We're finally in there. Not that one. Or that one. Right. So, gun round number 1 in the quarterfinal of the RaidCall EMS 1. First week, first cup, brand new to ESL and on ESL TV. And Forrest starts things up with a lovely headshot on M&L. And Rack comes back in and gets that revenge frag. Solek now in on Freiberg. We haven't had a chance to go through the teams just yet. Get Right's got himself one. Now Crystal's going to try and make his way into this A bomb site. Without bomb in hand, it's actually Felix that's got the bomb, who's coming under fire. Now he's going to make that transition all the way across back towards the A bomb site. Does have some cover here from Crystal as well. And inside that bomb site he goes. It's now a 1 versus 2 with a full health Fifth Laren. As bomb is now planted, but they do have one man low, although he's clipped Fifth Laren as they go in towards this bomb site. Opening round here, 1 versus 1. Bomb inside the A bomb site, reload from Fifth Laren. Checks to the right hand side, then checks left. Oh, he's actually been spotted by Felix, who's popped out here. Now, smoke being thrown in. Fifth Laren laying down the shots here. Now, is he going to go for this, or is he going to run out of time? That's the question. No, he's actually going to get down by Felix. And you've got to say, smart play by Felix, not so smart by Fifth Laren.
That was generally a very, very good round by Alternate. The whole transition from B to A from him there, after A was cleared, was very strong. And then they got the bomb down and won the pistol round, which really happens actually. Most of the time, people just kill each other in the pistol round.
Yep. So we're on Mirage for this quarter-final matchup. Thought we were going to see some action there from Rack. We've got M&L, Felix, Crystal, Rack and Solek for Alternate. And Nip line up as usual. Fifth Laren, Freiberg, Forrest exist. And the ace man from the first round, or second round, which was Get Right. No shock there. 1-0 to Alternate. Mid-area just starting to become the focus. It's Solek that picks up the opening kill. That was a wallbang shot. Freiberg though, look at this. Lovely shots from him again. Pistol rounds aren't quite as underpowered as they used to be in Go. I do feel like you've got a chance. There's much more of a realistic chance as Rack's making an awful lot of noise on that wooden slate floor. And there's, luckily for him, dropped down into that B bomb site where Freiberg was waiting. There's one man to the right hand side, he's picked him up. Kill coming in from Rack, and M&L now replies back on Exist. M&L's not got his second with that Galil. And Rack now waiting with bomb planted on that B bomb site. So they've got the advantage here of the 3 versus 1. Forrest is going to try and go for this though. He picked himself up a gun, but nothing doing. And that's a relatively straightforward 2-0 lead.
Very solidly played by M&L there.
So round 3, and we're underway on Mirage. This is the final game of this evening, not the final game of the RaidCall EMS 1. This is the quarter-final stage. Tomorrow will be the semi-finals and the best of 3 grand final for our first cup week. $1,000 on the line, and of course ranking points to qualify in that top 16. The split this time round is a little hard to call. It's kind of like a 1-3-1, the 3 trying to go through the mid area, and no weapons right now for NIP. Alternate are nicely stacked here, and Rack just going to lay down a smoke at the end of the Forest walkway, and it's Forrest who picks up the opening kill of the round. Freiberg gets himself a second yet again, and finally Alternate wake up and pick themselves up 3. M&L with the double. 2 versus 2 now. Expensive round, if nothing else. And Freiberg and Forrest, neither have managed to pick up a weapon just yet. And that's because they were quite a way away from the action, even though they've got themselves frags. And he was first to fire, Freiberg there, but it's Rack that picks up the frag, and Forrest is now the last man alive for the Pyjamas. And that's a nicely placed grenade, or at least it would have been had he been in the room, actually, because he was actually behind the wall. It looked like he was actually in there, but he wasn't. Flash is now unleashed, bomb will be planted to side, and Forrest, look at this, all the way round, cheeky as you like, has picked off one. Oh, can he get the second here? It's now a 1 versus 1, And is there a weapon down there? No, Forrest thought there might have been. Tries to get in towards that bomb site. And it's now Rack versus Forrest. And Rack really should win this one, and does win this one. Perfectly positioned. Forrest just walked out and had his head taken from his shoulders. It's 3-0 Team Alternate.
It was amazing movement by Rack there. You could see how Forrest thought he was definitely still in that corner. That's why he didn't even peek there.
Yep. Didn't even look round the corner. Didn't need to. Knew exactly where he was. Actually, eyes deceived you. 3-2 split this time with 3 in mid, and Fiflaren picks up the opening kill, and it's Rack who's been dealt a blow. That's what he's got to do more of. Still, plenty of criticism from Fiflaren. He was a fantastic Counter-Strike Source player, and has been very much maligned in Counter-Strike Go. And Fiflaren taken out by Felix this time round. Exist replying back. Freiberg gets himself a double, actually, protecting this A-bomb site, and bomb is down, so massive advantage here. Only Solek remaining, and Freiberg cleans up again. I tell you what, Freiberg's having an absolute monster night. He's on form everywhere, and that's 3-1. First one on the round for the Swedes.
And I think this might not be the only round they win now. I think they'll probably start and gain momentum. They'll probably take this round, perhaps take the next, and then Alternate is going to be thinking about strategies they can pull against NIP, who are now kind of getting solid ground.
Yeah, well, we've got a little bit of an action on here because we've got these 4 men playing. Well, Crystal at the back of that. Actually, what they're going to try and do here is split out everywhere and come into this B-bomb site. They do have the option of coming back, but it's probably not going to go that way, so let's just see how this one pans out. Those 4 men on the ledge waiting. Fiflaren is just training his AWP to see whether they come from that bottom tunnel or not. And Freiberg, well, he's over the other side, which doesn't really do him any good. And here we go then. Smoke onto the ledge at the end. And grenade comes back, and that grenade's going to do a whole heap of damage. And Alternate now just rush out into the bomb site. This might just be a complete bludgeoning for Get Right. Indeed, he's already got himself 2, 3. Come on, switch to him, please. For the love of God, switch to Get Right. Oh my goodness me. Didn't matter. Fiflaren has actually got himself a point-blank range kill on Crystal. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get to Get Right in time. Master of the Eco Bash. 3-2.
Alternate, of course, have picked up a bunch of AKs again.
A little bit of a wait at the start of the round. They're just
Moving towards B.
yeah, nothing too bad on that one. It's 3-1-1 split yet again. They're going to push Rack over to that B bomb site, and at the same time, Fiflaren's missed his opening AWP shot, which won't give them the pick that they wanted. Forrest will give them the advantage though on M and L. 3-2 is the current score in favour of the Germans in this quarter-final matchup. And Rack just recovering from the flashes, just low in mid with partner in crime behind him. There goes the flash. Crystal is not going to get that frag actually, and I thought he might do. Ooh, grenade goes flying in towards the bomb site. Forrest only had 12 points of health in there and had to move quick sharp out of it. Still only the 1 man down. 4 versus 5. Very patient play here by Alternate. And is this distraction techniques, or is this actually a push into the B bomb site? Looks like it might be a push, and if it is, Get Right's going to be absolutely ready for them. Picks up the first one. Can he get the second one through the box? No, not quite. Waits for him to pop round the corner and takes his head off his shoulders yet again. Felix, the man to reply. Forrest picks up that kill. I don't know where Get Right thought he was, but it doesn't matter. He called it. And Forrest picked up the frag there. 2 men quite low. Crystal's picked up that first one, which was on Forrest. The other man's quite low is Fiflaren. It won't matter. Exist gets the headshot. And we're all tied up at 3-3, and perhaps some normality has been restored.
And NIP have tons of money stored up. No matter if they win or lose now, they can lose 2 rounds in a row. They'll still be on solid ground. They still have weapons.
Reasonable position for Alternate to be in as well. And all tied up at 3-2. Oh, here we go. Look, we've got a 5-man push. Is this the fast push this time round, or are they going to play the patient game once more on the stairs? No, it does look as if they're just going to hold back a little bit. Ooh, and if they do push here, Get Right might just fill his boots. He's got one, and then has had to play a defensive flash. Does he get the second? Yes, he does. And alternate, you've just walked in to a Get Right trap. Rack now inside the B bomb site here has got the bomb man just above him. Now, if he could cause a distraction down low, no, well, he did and he didn't. And he wasn't sure if he was indecisive or not. Not a man lost that round, and 4-3 is the scoreline now to NIP.
Pretty good, these guys.
Not bad, are they?
No.
Yeah, seem to have played this game before. Underway in round number 8. And smokes and flashes absolutely bombarded over the top onto this A-bomb site. They have no idea what's hit them, and yet Exist somehow has managed to make his way and pick up the frag, the opening frag of the round. Fifth Laren got another one. Rack replied back. They absolutely tumbled smokes and flashes over the top into that A-bomb site before rushing in, and it made no difference whatsoever. It's now a 3 versus 2, but Felix has managed to get himself into the bomb site. Fifth Laren trying to be picked off on the right-hand side. He can't pick up the frag. Now Forrest comes back to try and help out his teammates. They've got the bomb on the back of a man inside that bomb site. If only they can get it planted right now, but they just can't. Rack is not able to provide any cover, and that smoke is sort of awkwardly positioned. Still 2 versus 3. Again, big clip on the face from Forrest. Is this the chance they were looking for to get into that bomb site? They have the health advantage here. And Forrest now has had to back away and take a bit of a more long-distance approach. Rack still waiting patiently for any sign of a counter-terrorist head popping himself into that bomb site. Fifth Laren, though, has got the first one. Can he get the second one? Yes, he can! Fantastic couple of AWP shots from Fifth Laren, just when they needed them. And Nip lead 5-3. Thoughts?
Alternate finally going for the A again. They've been going mid a lot.
We've got the multiple flashes yet again into the A-bomb site. If it didn't work the first time, let's just try it again. Exist again has picked himself up 2 frags in that bomb site. MNL's replied back. And actually, they've actually picked off 2 this time. Freiburg and Exist have gone down. And that'll be a 3 versus 2. Now, what can Crystal do? Well, the 2 of them combined have played very well in there to build a crossfire. Now, little grenade over the top. That's going to do some damage off both the players who are left back there, which is Forrest and Get Right. Now, little dance and a skip round the boxes from Forrest. Gets himself into the bomb site and the position now all the way across fire on the other side of the map. It's now a 1 versus 1. Get Right will play MNL for round number 9 in a 1v1. 31 points of health, plays 77.
Get Right, of course, in the advantage here because he has the bomb next to him.
Indeed he does. He has the cover on the bomb. Now MNL's just creeping out. Now if he can see his head from here, which he can do, and he might just be able to take it down, he does! That's brilliant from MNL! Had no right to win that round with the way that Get Right was sat. But there's one for the playbook. Let's not stand there. Let's not crouch there in future. You can actually have your head taken off. 5-4. Good game.
Yes, who would have thought?
I'm going to tease Get Right about that afterwards.
You should.
I'm going to tease him. I'm not going to say it was a newbie mistake, because it wasn't, but just, you know.
Germans seem to be good at this game.
Could have only been said by you, sir, not me. Forrest with the opening kill of the round this time round. Fifth Laren picks up an HE kill on Rack. That'll give him the 2-man advantage in round number 10. This is not an easy game for NIP. And I guess they're at that point where many teams in football and other sports get to, where they're so dominant that every team that plays them, it's like a cup final. And they just put in that extra little bit of verve and vigour to try and get themselves a victory against the top dogs in town. And I'm sure it's no different for Team Alternate. Currently having a very close game with the Swedes at 5-4 on Mirage. They're on the T side too. So, keeping it relatively close. 5 versus 3 in this particular round is anyone's round, really. If Alternate can open up with another couple of kills, which they can't do. It's Forest that increases the advantage, and Exist and Freiburg combine yet again inside that A bomb site. Deadly force they're being, and now it's a 5v1, and this will surely be game over for this round. Indeed it will. Get Right polishes off the last man, so a 6-4 lead now, and 5 rounds to play.
MNL just trying to save his weapon there in some way, but Nip just knew where he was.
Yeah, small consolation to save the weapon, but they're not even going to give him that satisfaction. They're just mean, these Swedes. That's how they roll. 2-round advantage right now. Fifth Lauren is just firing through the smoke. Seems to have an idea that they are in that vicinity. He wasn't all that wrong either, but they have started to make their way over. As Crystal now will pop round, tries to get the flash, does get the headshot on Freiburg, gets himself an AK now as well. How big could that frag be? Well, not massive, because actually they've already lost 3 players. Make that 4 players. Fifth Lauren picking off Rack with the AWP overpowered headshot. All 450 points of death. And now find themselves in a, well, a sort of half versus 4, frankly, because Crystal has just 30 points of health. Make that none. Exist getting the last one that time round, and that's 7-4 now. So NIP just starting to stretch their legs away here for an advantage in the first half.
Alternate moving out towards B. They're rushing B now. They're all actually jumping up B now.
And it slows down once they get to the carpeted mat yet again, which they've done a few times now. Looked like they were going to push that back alley and go all the way into the B-bomb site really quick on an eco. And that's the 3rd time I've seen them do that, and the 3rd time they've all stopped. And look at where Get Right is right now. Oh, this grenade right on top of them lands. And should have blown that kitchen to Kingdom Come, but it didn't. And smoke's now being deployed. Freiburg's being given the call. They know exactly where they are right now, but Forest, on that Forest ledge, picks up 1. Can he get the 2nd? Yes, you can. Fifth Lauren nails the 3rd. And here comes Get Right. He's got 1. Crystal's last man standing. He's blown away by Fifth Lauren's AWP. So 5 out of 5. No response. Eco bash. Nip leads 8-4.
Absolutely no chance to do anything there.
No. It wouldn't hurt to do a little rush through there. Now they've done 3 passives.
Yeah.
Then the 3 passive walks into that hallway. Next time they're on an eco, why not just rush it?
I think it's actually...
They've got 3 more rounds left anyway.
It's actually pretty effective to just jump down there, because you get on the spot so fast compared to other maps.
Yeah, I think the only problem, of course, is that you've got people like Forest and Get Right defending that ledge, and it is called the Forest ledge for a reason. It's his ledge, and he's not giving it up, and that's from 1.6 days. And he's just as good in CSGO. As is Forest making an advance, moving into that mid area, has got himself 2, make that 3. Actually, no, it's Fifth Lauren that stole that one away in that mid area, was it? Yes, it was. And only Crystal has replied back. He's now been locked down by Exist, so last man alive this time round will be Rack, and he's only got 4 Nip players to find, one of which is Fifth Lauren, who's in a tasty bit of form with that AWP this evening. 9-4 after 13, 2 left for the half.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing these 2 last rounds. They're so important for Alternate. They're so crucial. It's so crucial for them to get these rounds, to try and do something here, because otherwise they're going to be so far down, and if they lose the next pistol round, they're going to be so demotivated.
Not surprised, really. I mean, they're already 9-4 down, and Pistols would probably just put that second to last nail in the coffin and see them go out of this tournament, at least for this week anyway. Things opening up this time around. Freiburg, just an easy headshot. Rack replies back with a stunning little headshot of his own with the Glock. And Exist then plays peekaboo and picks off M&L. Forrest then with the second. Now it's starting to look one-sided. And there it is, finished off this time round by Fifth Laren. Quick check of the scoreboard. 10-4 up. Forrest leads with 17-5. Fifth Laren 14-5, having a fantastic game. Get right 13-6. Exist 12-5. Freiburg, by comparison, they're just not going anywhere where he is right now, which is why he's sort of 8-8. And on the other side, M&L really the only man to stand out. He's 8-12, 6-13 from Felix. Rack 6-12, Sonic 4-13, and Crystal not having the best of days, 5-14 on the alternate attack side on T side. 10-4 down right now. Can they pick up this final round?
They'll definitely have to pull the rabbit out of the hat here.
Yeah, definitely need a bit of magic, that's for sure. Counter-Strike magic, not going to get any from M&L, who's been given a big old fat seat by Exist, and is consequently sad. Rack also replied, wow, I thought Rack had got himself into a whole heap of trouble. Down to 19 points of house, somehow won the battle with Get Right. Now picks up the frag on Forrest, moved very quickly and smartly, but really that one should have been called. And Fifth Laren absolutely destroys Rack, having popped through the little hole in the wall. And Freiburg and Exist combine yet again, and Felix is now the last man alive, and it's done by Fifth Laren. Brilliant. And Forrest 17-6, Fifth Laren 16-5, almost topping the scoreboard. Yeah, of course Nip need a sniper. Good halves exchange, 11-4 is your halftime score between Nip Gaming, Ninjas in Pyjamas, and Alternate.
And Alternate are definitely scared here because they've seen what Get Right can do with their Glock, and he's gonna get it now. He's gonna get his Glock.
I don't think they're necessarily worried about one man. It's sort of like a 5-man demolition team, really. So it doesn't really matter who's got what. They're obviously going to find themselves up against it. So looks like. Okay, yeah, we're going to get the team switch any minute now. So good half all round. It was quite close for a while at the start. 5-4. Looked like we might get a bit of a to and fro game. Didn't happen. They won 6 on the bounce in the end.
Yeah, they did. They, as I said, they earned that solid ground. They just couldn't be beaten anymore after they figured out what Alternate was doing. After they figured out where they would have to stand every round, kind of.
So we go. Second round is underway. If you're just joining us, welcome to ESL TV. We're covering the RaidCall EMS 1. It is the very first night of the Cup. The first Cup finishes tomorrow. 4 Cups are qualifiers that all lead into the playoffs, which lead into the land finals later on in March. And $1,000 up for grabs in this first Cup for week 1. Same for next week as well. We'll have more of the same teams back. Those that got knocked out this week, maybe they'll be back as well. And plenty of A-Series teams giving their all already. We've already seen a couple of very big surprises this evening, and well, maybe not some massive shocks, but Kick Esports doing really well to overcome the Poles, 16-11. Druckweller from Germany beating 3D Max 16-14 in an earlier round as well. And let's not forget Infused, who came through earlier on tonight as well against the former Mouse Sports UK team. No slouches themselves either. Finally going out to these guys, the Swedes, the world champions, who are right now 11-4 up, and about to plant the bomb, and had the advantage there for a moment, but now not. Exist! Stunning couple of shots from Exist, that's fantastic from him! It was a 4 versus 1, it's now a 2 versus 1. Bomb's about to be planted as well. Can he get it before M&L gets in there? Yes, he can! And now Felix training that shot down in towards the bomb site, takes the head off the shoulders of Exist from a long-range shot. And in the end, it's Alternate's round, but that so could have been different.
Alternate are definitely going to be glad now to have gotten that round, because this is going to secure them the next round.
Yep.
Very likely. And perhaps get them back into the game.
That's what they're hoping, that's for sure. It's 11-5 overall now. And finally we keep the scores at half time, that's nice. Means I don't have to add up. So as you can see, the splits 4-1 right now. Freiburg on his own. Solec's just waiting inside the bomb site. It's Exist that unloads the AK into mid. And smoke deployed in that mid area. Right, look at this. Absolutely deadly. And picks off a second! He's only out there as a sort of decoy, if you like, and he's managed to pick himself up 2 frags in a row. Now, we've seen the dismissal of 2 more alternate players. This is going to be Solek dropping down, is it? Yes, it is, but only after a gunfire battle with Exist. But NIP, well, straight back into the game.
And meanwhile, Fifth Laren was already rushing to the bomb site. He would have gotten the bomb down without anyone being able to get there in time. So even if those kills had happened in that middle, they would have still had problems taking out Fifth Laren and defusing the bomb.
12-5 overall now, and a disappointing side from the Germans, really, because having worked so hard to win that opening round, they've thrown it away in the very next one. And now find themselves under pressure. Not the kind of pressure they wanted. They wanted to switch the pressure and put it on the Swedes, but they're just not having any of it. And now they've restored their 7-round lead. 4 more to play in the semi-finals as Felix wanders his way through the smoke. Ooh, you know what? He might just pick up a couple here. He got one. He couldn't get the second. Rack did pick himself up the frag on Freiburg in between that, but Get Right finally saw the danger. Now Rack's also in a very good position here, just inside the room, guarding that bomb site, but just didn't have the speed to react to Fifth Laren jumping in there with an AK. And we're back to 3 versus 3. Oh, Fifth Laren. I don't think he saw him in there. No, he didn't. Now he's going to pop back. MNL was just behind the box. And now, oh, waits perfectly, absolutely perfectly by Fifth Laren to pick up that kill on MNL.
Now switching on to that A side. Gonna drop the bomb there.
Yeah. Yeah, bomb is going to go towards A. There was no doubt about that. They saw that the defence was set up for B. Bomb is about to get planted now. And they'll set up a 3-man crossfire inside that A bomb. So I'm not even sure they will go for it. Well, they will, actually. They are going to go for it. And it's now a 2 versus 2. And Solek is now going to get himself an AK as well. So this could be dangerous. Nip, we've got to be very careful. Boris with the first. Can he get the second? Get Right might just take him down instead. He does. With 6 points of health remaining. And Ninjas in Pyjamas move to 13-5. Yeah, and it's looking a bit bad if you're a German fan right now of Alternate.
They did have a couple of really good rounds where they looked like they were on even footing with NIP, but then there were just cases in this game so far where Nib just outclassed them.
Oh dear. Double grenade at the bottom of ramp has forced Solek right back. He's on an eco anyway, and now he's only on 12 health, so he's the only man in his team with a kit, which is not ideal. But it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. Let's pick it up as Rack is going to pick up the frag on Forest. I didn't think he was favoured to win that in a month of Sundays, but he did. Crystal's also got himself a frag. Expensive this one, even if they end up winning this. They were 4 versus 3 down. Fifth Laren has got himself, got him out of trouble though, and levelled things back up. It's one of those odd rounds where it just hasn't gone to plan for either team, really. Let's just have a quick search over and see what they're going to do here. Well, they've piled 2 into B and almost stacked all their chips in there. Felix is now back in those white holes at the back. Now, if he can stay there and keep quiet, he's just down here on the screen, whereas these 3 are going to come pouring into here. He might just have an opportunity to pick up some frags. Let's have a look and see now. Fifth Laren is making his way towards that area right now with that AWP in hand. He's still waiting. They are going to check that area as well. Flashes go in and the grenades go in. They've got his number, that's for sure. But Felix, though, still picks up the frag. Solec's going to come in behind them. Fifth Laren does get one. It's a 1 versus 2 now. And they've only got 6 seconds. Got to get the bomb planted. Can't find it on the bomb site. Now he does. Too late, too little. And Fifth Laren gets taken down. And what on earth were Ninjas in Pyjamas doing? They weren't ninjas in pyjamas. They were teddy bears in pyjamas that round.
He rushed in there, he dropped the bomb below balcony, because he wanted to rush in there. But I don't think he should have rushed in there. I think he should have just played it safe, got the bomb down, instead of trying to take him out up there. Because there were 2 people still watching balcony.
Easy for us, I know. And I'm sure Emil will be sending me a DM any moment on Twitter. How dare you call us teddy bears? However, I'm sure he would have also looked at that round and gone, what the heck are you guys doing? 13-6. It's not really a big worry right now for the ninjas, as I shall return them to their former glory. But if they start losing rounds after rounds after rounds like this, then it might just become a problem. Get right though, getting 2 big kills himself, and make that a 3rd of the round. Is it? No, it was 2. The other one went to Fifth Lauren. But they are 2 versus 2 now, so a chance here. But Rack finishing off Forrest. Get Right's now the last man alive. 2 versus 1. Has already got himself 2 in the round. MNL just waiting for the right-hand side. And Get Right knows that Rack is just over the far side coming back from CT spawn because he's already been alerted by his teammate. They've got an M4 and an AWP trained on him. So a chance here to pull another round back. That would be 13-7. Bomb is in the hands of Get Right. So he could go for the plant here. Could even try and force a fake. And that's exactly what he tried to do, to flush them out. He does flush one man out. There's a man over the far side, but he's got the cover from the block on the far side here. 13, 12, 11, time becoming a factor now as well. Get Right picks up another one. It's now a 1 versus 1. This was a 4 versus 1. Can Get Right clutch this? 5 seconds. Just enough time to enter the code and get this bomb planted. There is enough time. Now the pressure switches over the Rack, and he has to pick up a defuse as well as kill Get Right, who's only got 33 points of health. Now he's only got 13 points of health. Can Get Right finish this one off? He can! That's absolutely fantastic from the Swede. If you want to win a round, leave it to Get Right to get things done. 14-6.
That's so many emotions going on in him and his team right now.
Crazy round. 4-man from Get Right wins them the round after a clutch 2 versus 1. Fantastic. Moves them to just 2 rounds needed for victory. I'll tell you what it also moves them to is if Alternate lose this round, they are absolutely screwed for money. They won't have enough to buy next round. They've already lost a man. Solid goes down in mid. And Forrest will pick off Crystal. That's just too easy through there. And now Fifth Lauren making his way round. Oh! Stunning little shot from Fifth Lauren on the move with the AWP. And picks off MNL just as he was about to jump out of the way. And things are going right for you. Things really are going fantastically well. Get Right gets himself a frag now. Just how much team play have they got today? This round, each man, apart from Exist, has got a frag. So surely it's Exist's frag this round. He's got to pick off Rack and they'll get 1. They'll also move to match point. They'll have 9 of them to make it through to the semi-finals. A little bit of resistance from the Germans early on, and then in mid-game, Rack's just surprising Fifth Lauren. I think Fifth Lauren must have gone for a cup of tea or something there, because he didn't even move, and Exist will finish him off, and it was Exist with the 5th kill, so they do all get a killer piece. Very kind. And that's match point.
Yes, it is. 15-6 now.
And a place in the semi-finals is almost theirs. I know this is kind of expected, and we pretty much knew that that's where it was going, and you know, they were the strong favourites coming into this tournament. There's no very games in this particular one either. Hopefully they'll be back next week, get enough points and they'll be in it. But still, it's still the fact that you can see them playing rounds like they've played. And Get Right's already had an ace earlier on in the evening. He already had a 4-man in the previous game, and he's had a 4-man clutch round in this game as well. So he's been on his usual fire south. But I tell you, the man that stood out this evening has been Fifth Lauren. Against all the criticism that he had through 2012, he stood firm, the team stood behind him, and he's had a very good game in particular against Alternate, and Felix has got himself the first frag of the round. They're on a sort of mixed, weird buy with a couple of shotguns involved here as well. It's not making any difference though right now, although actually it is, you know, because that's 4 versus 3. Get Right though, doubles up, can he get a 3rd in a row? Not quite. Fifth Lauren and Exist shut down, and it's all down to Get Right yet again. It's a 2 versus 1 this time, but he's only got 13 points of health. for the game? No! Nailed this time by Crystal's Deagle.
Then well, alternate was so starved for money. They had 3 pistols, they had a Max 7
They did
on
have a
M&L,
Max 7, yeah.
and then they had that M4 on Rack.
Yeah. That Max 7 is very underrated, by the way.
It's very
It's
strong.
a very powerful shotgun up close, and it can be devastating. So it's a good, cheap weapon to buy when you've got no cash. And that's worked well for Alternate. They are hanging on by their fingertips in this game. 15-7 down. Still plenty of money in the bag for NIP, so they're okay this round. But go one more, you might find that they're struggling a little bit for cash. And M&L and Felix, look at this. They've already picked up 2. Make that 3 for Felix in this round. And Rack's going to get the last one? Yes. No problem whatsoever. That'll be 15-8. And NIP, I always get the feeling when they get to match point and they're so far ahead that they're just playing with their opposition. You know, like a dog plays with a fish, or a cat plays with a fish, or it just feels like that to me sometimes. Like they're playing, or they're waiting to pull off an amazing round. I'm sure they're not. But it's just sometimes you just think they've been so dominant through certain rounds, and then they just fall apart. And that's exactly what they're doing this round. There's nothing in there, and we didn't actually see a single kill. They were so quick that time round. M&L picks up 3 of that eco bash. Yeah, well, it was an eco. This time round, it's going to be a full buy.
I wonder if they're gonna do the same thing again as the previous rounds, like not the last round, but the rounds before that, where they go 4 on one side and 1 on the other.
Well, let's just see what they are going to do right now. They've sort of favoured this 1-3-1 split. It's still that picks up the opening kill of the round this time, and it's AWP versus AWP. If Flowering has been down, he did buy an AWP this round too, so that's disappointing. And so far nothing doing now. Things have quietened down a little bit, so, and they've had to, because Nip can't afford to take too many risks right now. It's Get Right here, who's made his way into the site under the auspices of that smoke on the far hand side. He's got one. He's got to be careful here because Felix is just above, and there's a man over the far side. He's got the first 2. Can he get the third? Well, it doesn't matter because Forrest can. He's got 1 point of health remaining. But you know what? It doesn't matter because Rack is going to get finished off by Forrest. And ladies and gentlemen, GG, well played. That is NIP through to the semi-final. 16-9 in the end, and thoroughly deserved it.
Yes, they did. They played absolutely flawlessly.
Yep, pretty
except
well.
Except for the
couple of messy rounds towards the end. I wouldn't call that flawless, but
the rounds
I know what
before
you
that
mean.
were really, really
I know what you mean. So there we go. GG. Ninjas in Pyjamas, predictably perhaps, go through to the semi-final of the RaidCall EMS 1, the first championship we're running through spring. It is cup number 1. There are 4 cups in all, of course, and this is just the first of those 4. They're through to the semi-finals. That's it for tonight. From ESL TV, from myself and from Hubner. But do stick around in the chat. We'll stick around for a few minutes and have a chat with you. I hope you enjoyed the coverage this evening and the slightly shoddy production work by yours truly. But hopefully Joel will be back shortly to fix all of that and show us how it should be done. But hopefully that hasn't spoiled your enjoyment of the actual games themselves. We've had 3 great games. Nip coming through in 2 of them, of course. And earlier on this evening we saw Infused coming through against the overrated team, who were definitely not overrated, but unfortunately went down fighting on Nuke. That was a fantastic game earlier on. We've also seen a couple of great aces, one of those going to Get Right, and a 4-man from him as well this evening in that final game against Alternate. So good games all round. Let's look forward to the semi-final, which kick off at 7 PM Central European time tomorrow, and we'll also have the grand final for you as well, live only on ESL TV in English, and of course it'll be a best of 3. Hubner, what's been your highlight this evening?
The first game, definitely.
Yeah.
The first game between the
Just
Brits,
as a
actually.
whole. Yeah, the 2 Brits team.
Yeah, the Germans didn't convince me, but the British people did. Yeah, I know.
It's kind of, it's some Irish logic to your German thoughts there. I think that's what we'd call that. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope that you check out both the site and follow all of our Twitter and Facebook and YouTube accounts as well to make sure you keep up with the latest news from the RaidCall EMS 1. This is ESL TV signing off for this evening. We'll see you tomorrow for the semi-final and the grand final of the first ever cup for RaidCall EMS 1. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, guys.
Ah.